Here's my digital portfolio presentation for the class of Using Technology for Teaching and Learning. This presentation starts off with the tab 21st Century Teaching and Learning. Within this tab, we have a mission statement and a word cloud. This mission statement is my thoughts and beliefs on 21st century teaching and learning, considering what is the difference between technology use and technology integration, what is the role of the state and national standards and organizations when integrating technology with curriculum? What are some methods of integrating technology into content standards? And what are digital and media literacies? If I was presenting this mission statement for professional development, I would narrow this down to a few bullet points that are clear goals to technology implementation, such as implementing technology to enhance student learning, not just using it, implementing technology to build 21st century skills, implementing technology to connect with the real world and making learning authentic and engaging, and teachers as lifelong learners. This is the word cloud that includes 21st century student outcomes, the 21st century student support system, and how the various stakeholders use technology in education. To incorporate this into a professional development, I would have staff members enter their own words that relate to these topics and have discussions about any findings or misconceptions that are brought up. In the next tab, it's diverse classroom learners and technology. This section is all about scenarios in elementary, middle, and high schools that involve teachers who need support with implementing technology tools and suggestions for tools that can be used. I think that this scenario is really important to put into a professional development because for many teachers, having examples and resources is the most valuable part. They are able to transfer new knowledge and information into their own situations easier when they see it working in others. One way I would expand on this section would be adding a list of more resources and examples with each scenario, so that teachers can easily access it later. The next tab is Lunch and Learn. This is another tab that could be easily implemented into a professional development since it's already designed to teach and support teachers in facilitating group activities, conducting research, and communicating final projects in a variety of different devices and access to them. The way that I would make this better for a training would be to add more visuals and examples of how the suggestions could be used so the teachers walk away with more ideas on how to use them in their own class. Next, we have emerging trends in integrating technology. For this section, we had to research a current trend that was emerging in technology. I chose to focus this assignment on redesigning learning spaces to support student-centered and personalized learning. I talked about the research behind changing in learning spaces to be more flexible and supporting technology use along with the limitations and benefits that go along with the shift. To better use this in professional development, I would add more examples of what these learning spaces can look like and the resources that can be used or found. I think that this topic is exciting for a lot of teachers since we want our environments to reflect ourselves and our goals for teaching. And a physical change can be more attainable, especially when they can visualize it. Going into legal and ethical issues, there are two tabs here, resources and editorial. This section is all about legal and ethical issues related to technology in the classroom. This is an important topic as teachers implement for technology into their rooms to start exploring with different tools. Both of these subtabs touch on the topics of copyrights, fair use, Creative Commons, FERPA, and other privacy concerns, plagiarism, and academic dishonesty. This resource is a helpful tool to give teachers at professional development if they ever have more questions or need clarification on topics. There are hyperlinks for many resources for each topic that I was discussing. For the editorial, I would add some specific examples of what these issues might look like for specific programs or tools our schools using so teachers are better prepared and can gather a better understanding of what they should be aware of. Lastly, we have our Leadership for Technology Integration tab. This tab includes a presentation on creating change in organizations, recognizing true integration of technology, finding ways to improve families and communities, and discussing different funding and budgeting considerations. If I were to include this section in a professional development, I would focus on the difference between just using the technology and implementing it so it takes student learning further. I would then discuss the different resources that teachers can utilize to get more tools and devices into their classrooms, such as donors choose and grants. Finally, we have the Educational Technology Toolkit. I recommended the book Cool Tech Tools for Lower Tech Teachers by William N. Bender and Laura B. Walker. I talk about how it can be implemented into a training and how all teachers can benefit from this resource. It gives 20 technology tools for the classroom with an easy to understand description of the tool, and it guides teachers by step-by-step implementation and sample lessons to get them started. It is super easy to navigate, and teachers can put this in their classroom and access it at any time. And that is the end of the presentation.